This is Thurston Rider. In case some of you have not heard, the state legislator hired a commission to plan for a few airports or greenfield sites. One in Thurston County, south of Yelm Hwy, and the other two in Pierce County, around Graham and Puyallup, Frederickson areas. If you go online, you'll find where those potential sites will mainly be. And this is not a typical airport like the size of SeaTac that they're looking at. This is more of a megaport. Something about, at least anticipated to be 2 to 3 times the size of SeaTac. But they don't want to put it in King County, which sounds very suspicious. They want to pick a rural area, so it's like they want to put it in someone else's backyard. They don't want to disturb the rich or the upper classes. There are a couple other sites they may be looking at around Enumclaw, but it sounds like there's no interest in them to do that. And then expanding SeaTac and Payne Field in Everett to add to the increased passenger demand and freight. And what they're not telling you is that there is a lot of huge environmental and social and economic impacts from an airport. This whole idea is mainly, what it sounds like to me, is mostly lobbyist and stakeholder special interest. In other words, money is on the table for this, regardless of environmental impact. So, if you live around these areas, even if you don't live around these areas, it's going to have an impact on you, even as a taxpayer, from any damages that this will create. So, I encourage everyone in the whole state of Washington to say no to these projects. Put the CACC out of its misery and let the state legislators and the office of the governor know we are not interested in these projects. They will be devastating to everyone's communities. Make sure you do a full study and research on the stuff, and you'll find out what an airport requires. Just imagine an area, or a typical suburban area, that would actually, instead of houses or apartments and trees, you'll have mostly hotels, motels, car rental agencies, all these ugly warehouse buildings that you see at airports, all the Sky Chev buildings, food services, everything. Airports are ugly. Not only are they ugly, but if you ever visit an airport or in areas around them, you'll notice the psychological differences in the social atmosphere. Airports are stressful. People are angry whenever they work there or have to be around them or even use them to travel. They have a negative effect on human behavior for some odd reason. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not going to go into that field, but there's a lot of health implications. And then on top of that, there's also the atmospheric, physical environmental impacts such as fuel spray, fuel dumping from when aircraft needs to land. As you know, sometimes they may have to dump their fuel to lighten the load for safe landing. That can have
cross street with caution. Vehicles may not stop.
That can have huge negative effects, not only on the air that you breathe, but in the soils, the groundwater, everything like that. That stuff can cause cancer and other health-related illnesses and even death. Now, the smaller the airport, the less, of course, the less those effects. If they're that desperate for an airport, they can build something along the lines of another SeaTac size area, but even that to me is pretty big for a rural area. Airports belong in or around urban areas, not the rural or suburban. They also what's my train of thought here? They need to be around where the most city centers are, where most tourists and travelers are going to be. If you look at other airports along Victoria, Vancouver, BC, Portland, Oregon, Ted Stevens International Airport in Alaska, and LAX and other airports, you know, most of those airports are going to be about 2 to 3 to 4 miles an hour in diameter at the most. This mega airport they're calling for is going to be 6 miles in diameter, and they're not even fully specifying whether that's the actual runway and concourses, or if that's the full, you know, warehouse grounds, runways, or even the areas outside that with all the motels, hotels, car rental places, you know, that are outside the airport grounds. And then along outside that 6 mile radius, you're going to have more suburban sprawl or urban sprawl associated with that. Most of your current roadway networks are going to be torn up. Most likely new infrastructure being put in place, and that's what taxpayers are going to be paid for. All because of special interest groups who claim that this new mega airport will create 600,000 new jobs, which, let's be realistic, most of those jobs, I guess, well, at least to half of them or to 3/4, will be filled up by people who already work in that field, have experience. They're going to take those jobs. They're going to move in from other states to take them, because let's be honest, if you can work at an airport in Washington as opposed to one in California or some other high tourist area, it might be less stressful, but airports are anything but stress-free. Who would want to work at an airport? I definitely wouldn't, that is for sure. So, if you really could spread the message, spread the word, let everyone know about this airport proposal, because not everybody knows about it. Not everybody knows about it. And the more voices we get heard protesting to the state legislator and the CACC, we might have a chance of shutting it down. Right now, the outlook is they're going to pick a spot and they're going to go for it, because money is on the table for this. But it doesn't mean we can't try and stop it if you find out and realize the huge impacts it will have on a community and the environment and any other community outside. So I'm just gonna say, if you're against it, yeah, just share it, go to stoptheairport.com or some of the other Facebook group posts or sites against the airport. Do a little research on it and spread the word. You don't even have to volunteer. You don't even have to go out on your own, and I mean, you can do a lot on your own simply by just spreading the word. Talk to your co-workers, talk to your friends, ask them if they know about it, and tell them about it. And I'm guaranteed that the majority of people you talk to will freak out about this. So far, I talked to 10 people just from the last day who did not know about it, and they're already freaking out, and for good reason. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I might provide some later updates, and please just spread the word and let's stop this thing from happening. You have a good day. Thank you for watching, and I'm on my way out.